In this first part here, I'm going to show you how to set up this blueprint image here that I got off the website. It was quite large. I did scale it down before I even got started. And I use my color picker over here and got a sample off the background because I'm going to start with a new document. And I want my background to be the same color as this background because if there's any border on there, at least the two colors will blend. And you can see I got 1024 by 1024. This is the power 2. This will make it a square image. If it's not square, it won't look right in Hexagon. If you use anything larger than 1024 by 1024, this will lag Hexagon. If you go any smaller or real small, then you got it in Hexagon. Try zooming in real close. It's just going to get it all pixelated. So we'll just start here, and this is my new document here. Alright, I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to use the marquees tool. And what I want to do is I want to get tight as I can to the body. It'll be like something like this. As you can see here, it's pretty tight. I do have a little bit of spacing on the bottom here at the bottom of the wheel. The border ain't tight enough. That's fine. Just take a couple times to get it, and you'll get it. But I got a deal that I can use in this program. I was just showing you in case you didn't have your program where I can overshoot it. As you can see, I got over selected too much to the left, too much to the front, and too much on the bottom. That's okay. I'll just take it over here, and I can even drag it to the top. This is a real nice option here. It's called trim, and I'll just trim all 4 corners. And this is what you'd want if you marquee select it. That's how tight you want it. So this image here will not work on a 3D plane because it's not square. So we'll go ahead and select the new document. Use the same one. And this time I'm going to go ahead and select it and start dragging it. When I start dragging, I'm going to hold the shift key down. No matter where I drop my cursor and let go, it's going to snap to the center. Now these images must be centered, each one that you go ahead and crop and drag over here, because if they're not centered and you got it in hexagon, you're going to have some real bad alignment. So here's my new image, and you can see the image size 1024 by 1024 is what I wanted. And I would be saving this one out and give it name like a right view JPEG. Now for some reason that I want to do a left view real quick, I just go ahead and Control T this. Since these cars are symmetrical, it's alright to go ahead and flip this, and we'll flip it horizontal. This will turn it into the left view, and I'll save this as my left view JPEG. Alright, I'll go ahead and load up Hexagon. Okay, in this part here, I'm going to give you a little quick description on how you can make your own. I'm not going to get in full detail, but this was tested in version 2.5.0.5. This might not work if you had an older version of Hexagon, so please try to use this in that version. And what I did was I used a cube here. I just took it and drug it down here and just dropped it without tessellating it. So each of the cube faces, this is only one face. And what I did was select a face and I cut it and pasted it. And each face had its own separate, and each of them had their own names after I named them. I also scaled this cube before I started to exact same size of these grids over here. So once I had that done, I'll switch back over here, and I had them all named up And I'm not going to give this in order because I don't remember. I don't think it's too hard to figure it out. But after I did it, and I select, let's say, the front view here, then I'm not going to press this new button. And when you press this new here, it's going to give you an option to load up a texture. And once you get the texture loaded up, you go over to UVs and paints, and you'll have to set up the planar projection for the so the alignment is perfect on there. Then when I got done with that, I went over to the utilities, and I switched the orient normals for this. Alright, and for this to work, you need to have the show hide back face. You need to select it like this. If this is not active in the hide mode, then you're just not going to work right. We'll just switch that back, and we'll just go into the front view mode. And I'll go into the next step. Alright, when you load it up, you'll look over here in the scene tree here. You can see I got this grayed out. You see the one that's got the cube, but it's hidden. This is actually not this cube here. This is cube down here is for if you want to do any box modeling. I'll get to that here in a little bit. So I'm going to give you a quick description on how to load this up. So we'll just take this little triangle here, and I'm going to select the padlock to unfreeze it on the very top left, and unlocked. I'm going to select the front one here. Now it's very important not to move these planes at all, so it's best to go ahead and hide this manipulator for now. Do not put your cursor in here and drag around, because you're going to throw a bunch of alignment off. We're just going to activate this so we can load the images. So I'll select over here. The UVs are already set up for this for you, so all you got to do is go to the texture, color, to go to the texture image. As you can see, I selected front over there in the scene tree, so I'm going to go over my images. I got them all listed here, so this one's front, and I'll load this one. And if you can see here, I got the high show on, and this is very important for this to work right. So I'll just go ahead and activate that. I'll select the rear, and we'll go through the process here. Select rear. As you can see, nothing changed over here. That's fine. We're just going to load the images up. We're going to go to the right. Go to the left. Go to the bottom. Go to the top. And when you get done, we'll collapse this up. And we're going to freeze this. This is going to, so we don't select the cube here. So let's open this back up. As you can see, they're all active. I want to click the top padlock. It basically freezes them all. As you can see here, there's a little green dot here. This one is still active. For some reason that you kind of maybe click on the plane here, it could shift a little bit. So just go ahead and select over here on the canvas on the right and just click one time. And that way, now if I click on here, I can't select it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and show you about this cube here. See, when I turn it, let me go ahead and turn this off right here. And if I turn the cube on, I don't see the cube. It's because you got to activate the high chow. And there it goes. And you also might want to come over here and uncheck some of these because we don't want that. And what you do is we're going to go to the front view. And it's the case if you want to, box model. Get to know your hotkeys for your top, left, and front, whatever you need to know. It's a lot easier with the numpad. So you can see I'm shifting it there. And we'll select it like that. Like I said, this cube over here is basically for if you want to do any box modeling. You can hide or show it. You don't have to use it. Look at the positions on here. Read the coordinates. Get familiar with them. In case you do want to put something in here different, it's your own. This cube has got to be in the center. So if you pretty much match up these coordinates up here, your object will be in the center here. Sometimes this, if you click up here where it says right view and it freezes up, well, I'll go to front view right now. Sometimes this will freeze up every now and then, so just to do it, to unfreeze it, you can just go up here and select one here. It only usually happens one time for me, so you'll be alright. Now, here is the zoom option, where you can get in real close, which I'm sure you all know. You might have some problems if you use the scroll wheel on your mouse, so just use the zoom here. That way it'll come in directly at you instead of at an angle. And I'm going to go to the next step. Alright, I'm going to go down here and go into the 4 views. As you can see, selected up here in the front view. I'm going to tap the number 0 over on the numpad. And I'm going to do the same here, selecting here, 0 on the numpad. Alright, I want you to take a look here. It says front, rear, right, and left. And from starting over here, I want you to name them in that same order. So this one was front, so that was alright. All you gotta do is go down the list. They're the same in the list as rear. Here's the right view. And here's the left view. Let me go ahead and zoom these up a little bit. Let's go ahead and activate that cube. Okay, I want to show you something. I'm going to select the cube here. Let me activate the manipulator. Now, as you can see up here, the cube appears to be in the front and the back of the car, but still in the center. Now, you'd think if I moved it to the right, which is towards the front of the car, the cube would come out to the front here, but no, it comes out to the back here, or vice versa. Let me zoom this back a little bit. As you can see, I got it in the back of the car, and it moved to the front. It's because the way that the this program is, it's like that car is actually looking towards me. I'm not going to get in full detail why this is. It's like in the real world, so if you want to fix that, let me zoom this back down a little bit so I can see. Now if you want to fix this, so I'll set this back here, is we'll go ahead and activate this back up, and we're going to swap the right and left image. I'm not going to select the view here because I don't want to do that. So I'll select the we'll select the right. Now you can flip it, or you can go ahead and switch the naming up here and just load the texture back up to the wrong deal. But we use the horizontal flip. You can see that one flipped there. And we'll use this. This thing likes to stick sometimes, so you gotta click it again. So that one flip. Make sure we lock this back up. We don't want to select them planes again. Alright, now let's take a look at it. Now I'm going to move this to the front of the car, which is going to be the left, and hopefully it'll stay in front of the car this time. As you can see, I selected something else. So Control Z that. Is because I had that plane selected and I did not deselect it by clicking on the canvas. As you can see, now it stayed in the front of the car, and it's in the front of the car here. Now if I move it behind the car, now it stayed behind the car here. So if you're in the 4-view mode, you might want to switch them over, and make sure that you always switch them back when you're done. Alright, I paused the video and I'm going into the next step here. Let's take a look at the bottom image here. This one here is, let's go ahead and zoom that way down here. As you can see, on the one on the right here is pretty good size. And I'm going to select the polyline here. And I'm going to go ahead and just do a couple clicks just a little bit above it so you can see. And when I go ahead and zoom this one in, you can see the line stay the same ratio as the Corvette, because this was set up in orthographic view, and it's this little icon down here. Sometimes you need to click this before you start, but this these image cubes are already set up for you. But if you have any problems down the line and something's not lining up, just go ahead and click that orthographic twice, this little icon, and that way when you scale up and down, the line there will stick with the Corvette. And because usually if you don't, the line will either get smaller and the car get bigger, and the alignment will be just way off. So let's go ahead and delete this line here. Alright, and I want to select the polyline again, and I want you to look up here at this top vet, and you see this little green dot right here, and when I drop below it and start working on this bottom vet, no matter where I put my cursor on this bottom vet, if you look at the top one, it's always going to try starting center. If you look at the top Corvette image, you can see no matter where I move my cursor on the bottom, it's going to try starting in the center. Now we can fix that. Now if I was to, let's say I want to work on just the side here, I would select here and click one time. Now this is going to remember this position the next time I use a polyline. So I just click once. I'm just going to hit the escape key. Let me zoom this bottom one down a little bit. Now when I use the polyline, you can see it's going to try starting here at this point. So when I drop my cursor below, look at the top image, it's always going to try starting on that side. You may prefer to start in the center, you may prefer to start in the middle. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit the escape key. Now if you want to fix that and start back in the center again, we'll just select the camera here once and switch back over to XYZ, and we'll select the polyline again. As you can see, now it's back to the original state as it when it first started in. So if you look at the top image, while I'm moving this around, it's starting in the center. Now let's go ahead and switch this back over here, and we'll go into the top view mode. Now this image that I have here, I got the top and the bottom. They pretty much are the same images. I didn't have a bottom image, but I did flip them around. And some of your images you may need to come back and tweak. Depends which way. If you got them from the blueprint place, they might be facing to the left or right. You can always go back and switch the UVs here. You can switch them by flipping them, and you can switch them by going back over to the UV planer here. And we'll switch this back over. And like I said, make sure it's locked. And you can see my manipulator is still stuck up here. And like last time, I tried clicking on the plane, which it's supposed to be froze right now, which it's really not. So I'll just select over here one time, and that's all it takes. And now I can't select it no more. Anyway, thank you very much.